Hello, I'm a parent interested in sending my child here for 8th grade. Why should we choose Lyman Public Schools?
Well, Mr. Parent, I say we take a virtual tour of our high school. Hey, this isn't the right place. Make Rhedosaurus Rex eat us again. There we are. We are now in the 9 through 12 Lyman High School hallway. Let's begin by entering the first door on our right, Mrs. Sodders. Miss Sodder teaches the Lyman High School's equivalent to social studies. Starting freshman year, you have to spend one semester with her, getting taught geography. As of sophomore year, you are with her while simultaneously getting taught world history. World history teaches about the majority of history after death. On the other hand, starting junior year, you'll have to choose between Mrs. Sodder and a college professor. But after that, senior year, you take government. Government is generally regarded to as the hardest course in this high school.
Now we can enter the closest door across the hallway. This is Mr. Town's room. Mr. Town is our foreign language teacher. He teaches Spanish 1, Spanish 2, French 1, and French 2. Given he is fluent in Spanish, he also watches over our college Spanish class when the teacher is on Zoom. He also helps elementary students struggling with the English language practice and continue to make progress in speaking English. Majority of people expect that learning a foreign language would be very difficult. However, with Mr. Town, it is about as easy as it gets. Now we can head to Miss Larson's room, which is right next to the foreign language room. Miss Larson's room is the mathematics room. Freshman year, she teaches Algebra 1. Sophomore year, she teaches geometry. Junior year students choose between college algebra and statistics or Algebra 2. In senior year, you can take college trigonometry and calculus. Mrs. Larson usually teaches 4 semesters of different college-level math courses, and she is usually the one to supervise standardized testing, such as PARCC and the SAT for Lyman.
Now let's head over to the business room. Here is the school's water fountain. Here is the school's bathrooms. Being taught by Mrs. Wagner, the business room serves many purposes. It is used to teach Intro to Business, Accounting 1, Accounting 2, Management, Business Law, Entrepreneurship, and Personal Finance. These are the first business projects you make in Intro to Business: a food truck, a menu, and prices. This is also the room used for FBLA. FBLA stands for Future Business Leaders of America and is a career and technical education class, CTE, that runs in Lyman High School. Many things such as conferences, competitive events, and volunteering opportunities are offered in FBLA. Now we can go into the VNet room for college courses. Wait, what is that in that locker? Ah! You're telling me these lockers are big enough to fit a person inside? That is crazy. Seems to be locked. Let's go talk to Mrs. Bandy, our school guidance counselor, to get it unlocked.
Hello, I'm Andrew Demog, and I will be interviewing Miss Bandy today.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do in the school?
So my name is Mrs. Bandy, and I am the school counselor. So I do various things, such as counseling, which is just various depending on the grade levels. So working on character, working on social skills, and then as you get older, starting to explore career options and future planning. So that's kind of a little bit of what I do.
And I think we've kind of answered this question, but like, how does the school help students after graduation?
So after graduation, well, I think the biggest part is preparing them before graduation. I think that's the biggest thing we can do to help a student after they graduate. We offer a senior seminar class, and in that senior seminar class, we pretty much prepare for any career after high school. So we start with exploring careers and then doing shadows and then looking at what education we need after high school to pursue those careers. We also have work study opportunities, so kids can start to get out there and look at careers and see if those are a good fit. Try to give students, work skills. We also require personal finance, offer accounting, different things that just help no matter what career you go into. So I feel like I try to do my very best to make sure students know these are pathways they can take, and lots of different options for their future. And then for me, I always tell kids, I'm here. It doesn't matter if you graduate, I'm always here to help you. So.
Okay, and lastly, how does the college program work here?
So, starting sophomore year, students can take college classes. They have to test to kind of show that they're ready for those college classes. But then they can start taking those classes and they can count for high school credit as well as college credit. And so sophomore year they can take one class, and then junior year they can start to take more classes, like a college lit class. Senior year they can jump into even more options as far as college classes. So there's college math, college science. It really helps students to kind of get their foot in the door and take those college classes if they're ready. Kind of like an honors program, but it allows them to get some college credit that counts for both college and high school. So great opportunity. A lot of students come out of high school with college courses, and it kind of just gives them the foot in the door, I think, to believe that they can do that they can go after their degrees and make those things happen. So does that kind of answer that question?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
you're
taking time
welcome.
there
You got it.
for the interview.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
We just woke up in front of Miss Wagner's room. I bet the VNet room is unlocked now. This is the VNet room. The VNet room is used primarily for college courses taught by actual college professors. These classes are usually taught over Zoom. For example, the college Spanish class is taught in this room and meets 4 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The college United States history class, CUSH, on the other hand, only meets 3 times a week, on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. In this classroom as well, we have Brianne's closet. This is used to donate clothes and hygiene supply products to donate and use if there are children in need. Unfortunately, to start using this room with college Spanish, however, you need to be at least a sophomore. Now let's go across the hall into Miss Niebuhr's room. With Mrs. Niebuhr, students will learn about grammar and composition topics such as grammar rules and writing the various types of essays. All throughout the school year, students will be involved in the grammar book, an in-depth guide into the many grammar rules for the English language. Students will also learn about the different types of writing of essays. For example, students may need to learn how to write in the Chicago Manual of Style if they are writing a historical paper. Most students will be using this room for their entire high school career. Now let's finish off our tour with Mrs. Fraser's room. This room is used for high school students to be taught literature. Books we read in this classroom include While You're a Freshman, Fahrenheit 451, and other short stories read in a big book to get an introduction into the literature field. During sophomore year, we read To Kill a Mockingbird and The Great Gatsby. The other books we read junior year is Frankenstein and The Kite Runner. Another thing we do in this class is descriptive writing about art. We take a look into art, what the meaning is, and how it could be interpreted differently by multitudes of people. And while we read a book in class, we have to do reading counts. After reading 1,000 pages of a book on your own time each semester, you take an online test over the book to test your comprehension of the book. For academic electives, our exciting options include FBLA, which we've already talked about, FFA, and our excellent band program. We have Mr. Shear here to talk more about the band program.
For starters, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm 63 years old. My birthday's going to be this week, so that's when I'll be 63. I've been teaching for almost 40 years. I started in 1984. I had 6 years where I didn't teach, so I've taught 34 years or so. I went into music and studied music at Pueblo. It was USC back then, University of Southern Colorado. Then I transferred to Greeley and worked there for another 4 years and the summers, and I got a double degree in music performance and music education. So I was a trumpet major and wanted to perform, but ended up having an opportunity to come to Lyman and teach, and I thought, well, sure, I'll do that. So I've been doing that for 40 years. So
Nice.
So that's what's up. I have my wife and 4 kids and 16 grandkids, and kind of grew up out in this area as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why you decided to come work here at Lyman?
Well, I kind of alluded to that,
Yeah.
but I had the opportunity to teach here, but when I got out of college, I was thinking maybe I'll go to Wyoming, maybe I'll go wherever. It sounded like Wyoming paid a little better or whatever. And so I thought about that. But then the gentleman that taught here, who is Don Kimball, he taught here for 28 years, I believe. And he actually had a great program, renowned. And, as you leave the building, you see some of the trophies. But, so I knew of the program, but I didn't know he was going to retire right about then. So what happened is the school brought me in to student teach with him. So I student taught with him in the fall of '84, and then halfway through that, they asked me if I would want to have the job. He actually retired in January, in the middle of the year. So I took the job over in January of 1985, and been teaching ever since. So I didn't know I was going to stay here, but that's what happened.
Yeah. Nice. Do you think music is important for people to learn?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, I think everything's important, when you go through, every teacher probably thinks theirs is the key, but I know for me with music, there's so much going on between the left and right brain. And when you're using kinesthetic things, with your fingers, as well as reading a new language, which is music. It's kind of that universal language. We have Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, English, but music is a language that all people speak, and they read the same notation generally. So when you read that music, you're doing a universal kind of thing in a way, but you're also training your brain to read, to think dimensionally, up, down, left, and right, and to blow the air, produce the sound mechanically. There's so much going on in your brain. I just really believe in that because of what it's doing and making your brain just fire up and really occur. So I think also we see a lot of studies that show the kids that are involved in the music activities, whether it's small time or bigger time, longer time, have some really advanced skills in other areas, math and science and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good to be here.
FFA is a big organization and a big part of Lyman School. There are many different events that go on while in FFA. You can compete in many different competitions such as parliamentary procedures, CDEs, speech, and so much more. You also get to travel many different places with your chapter as well.
But what about the athletic part of the school?
Athletics in Lyman is truly extraordinary. Having an immense amount of state runner-up and championship banners, Lyman High School has been super successful in the upbringing of these children in physical activities. For example, our Lyman High School football team has won the state championship 4 out of the past 5 years. We also, in boys basketball, just won the state championship for the first time in 60 years. Along with that, we've had a wrestler, Kian Bandy, recently compete in the state championship for the 175-pound weight class. With all of these current accomplishments, the Lyman High School baseball team is 22-0 and coming off of 3 straight state championship appearances, hoping to make it 4. And also, if you have a younger student, you can enroll them in our elementary school. In 3rd grade, students will stay in the same room and learn the core subjects such as math and English. While they advance into the 4th grade, they will need to move classes akin to that of middle school and high school. They also learn the greater variety of classes such as technology and band. Our excellent teachers in the elementary school will make sure that your young will be educated and ready for the future. With no doubts in our mind, we believe that with all our academic and athletic success, Lyman Middle School and High School will be a perfect fit for your child.